When I married Sarah, I truly believed I'd found the one person I could rely on above all others. We had been together for 8 years, built a home together, and shared dreams of starting a family. From the outside, our life looked perfect. But over time, I began to notice subtle shifts, hushed phone calls taken out of earshot, sudden girls' nights that hadn't been a habit before, and a persistent habit of keeping her phone face down on the table. I tried convincing myself it was nothing, but my instincts whispered otherwise. One Friday night, Sarah told me she was going to an engagement party. She put on a level of effort I hadn't seen in a while. Hair perfectly styled, makeup flawless, and a striking red dress I'd never seen her wear before. Something about it made me pause. I casually asked whose engagement it was. She hesitated for a second too long before answering. Just someone from college. You wouldn't know him. I let it go outwardly, but a knot formed in my chest. A few hours later, a mutual friend accidentally revealed the truth in a text. Sarah had been spotted at her ex-boyfriend's wedding. When she came home past midnight, smelling of wine and expensive perfume, I confronted her. She didn't deny it. Instead, she laughed, actually laughed, and said, "Oh, is hubby upset I went to my ex's wedding?" Her smirk carried more weight than any insult could. That was the moment I realized this wasn't just about attending a wedding. This was about deliberate disrespect and betrayal. The next morning, she behaved as though nothing had happened, humming softly while scrolling through her phone. I sat there in silence, already deciding on my next steps. If she thought I was going to swallow my pride and ignore it, she was about to learn differently. Over the next 2 weeks, I worked quietly in the background. I collected screenshots of her messages with her ex, saved photos from the wedding, and even got a short video from a friend showing her dancing far too closely with him. She had no idea I had people looking out for me. I contacted a lawyer and began moving money from our shared accounts into my own. Between our joint savings, investments, and property, there was a lot to untangle, but I wasn't about to let her walk away with half after humiliating me. I also discovered she had been charging expensive personal purchases to my credit card, so I froze the account without warning. While she thought she was getting away with it, I was securing my future. I spoke to her parents, not with anger, but with undeniable evidence. They were shocked, especially when they saw the video. Her father, a man with a strong moral compass, simply shook his head in disappointment. Finally, I told Sarah I had to leave for a short business trip. Instead, I packed up what I needed, closed my side of our accounts, and changed the locks on the house. That same day, my lawyer filed for divorce. She didn't realize anything was happening until she returned home and couldn't get inside. Taped to the door was a short note. "Enjoy the memories. I'm done." There was no shouting, no back and forth. Just silence. Within hours, the messages started coming in. First confusion, then anger, then desperate attempts to explain. She called me childish. I ignored every word. I blocked her number, email, and social media. I even changed my work contact information. A few days later, friends told me she was trying to paint me as overreacting to her just going to an ex's wedding. But when they pressed her about the dancing, the secret texts, and the gifts bought with my card, she had nothing to say. The truth had already traveled farther than her excuses. I moved to another city, rented a small apartment, and started over. I didn't take much, just enough to build a life on my own terms. At first, waking up alone felt strange. But that feeling quickly shifted into something better. Peace. She made one last attempt to reach me through a mutual friend, saying she missed me and that we could work things out. But by then, I'd moved on, not to another person, but to a version of myself who valued quiet stability over chaos. That night at her ex's wedding was the last time she ever underestimated me. She expected sulking or shouting. Instead, she got silence, decisive action, and complete disappearance. My revenge wasn't loud, but it was final. She had her fun at that wedding. I had mine the day I walked away without looking back. And I know, deep down, my silence will echo longer in her mind than any words I could have spoken.